Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit!
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh my.
You know, it's so adorable how you conservative Christians try so hard to sound smart by twisting the sides around. Because you fuckfaces would be calling it brainwashing if it were Islam or any other religion being taught in schools. That's something you morons always try to avoid. So much for your precious religious freedom, huh? Goes to show you only use religious freedom to justify your discrimination towards gay people or people that don't conform to your bullshit beliefs. I was never even given a condom in high school or middle school when learning about this sex stuff, so how does this even apply to me? Sure, it may apply to other people, but not me. Hang on, get that message thing out of the way. I'm not anti-gun either, by the way. I'm not a liberal, but I can't fucking stand conservatism or right-wing Christian logic idiots. About the first picture, by the way, the difference between sex education and the Bible is that sex education doesn't tell me to be racist, homophobic, sexist, or violent towards women, children, gay people, or the ones that don't conform to me. Sex education also doesn't tell you to rape and molest children and women. It just tells you the science of sex. Sorry for my little lapse or stutter there. And about the taxpayer money, what in the literal fuck does tax paying have to do with supposedly forcing atheism onto your children? Last time I checked, children were molested and even abused when religion was forced down their damn throats. Let alone gay people were kicked out of their house because someone else's bullshit religion. So you're just asking for trouble when letting that shit in schools. I don't see that happening with atheism and any of the other following listed. And last time I checked, you idiots threaten children with hell when talking about the Bible. You always say, accept the Bible or you are going to hell. That isn't physically child abuse, but it's still child abuse. It doesn't always have to be physical. You always put your religion before your child and your friends. Stop trying to twist the sides around. Also, it was never the schools that forced atheism onto me. It was my ex-friends that shit on me because of their religion, and then I went on to read the Bible to see the damage religion was causing, and then I became an atheist. There's a previous video of me telling the stories, so go back to the video I made back in August 2016. Anyways, let's get to debunking more bullshit. Alright, let's start off with the first bullshit I hear.
People are not born gay. It's a choice. It's against God.
Oh, really? Got any more arguments besides your precious Bible? Because every time you use the Bible to justify your uneducated arguments against homosexuality, I care far less and take you way less seriously than any person that gives me arguments outside the Bible that's no different than the Quran, which a lot of evangelical Christians dismiss and hypocritically call delusional. Apparently I'm the biggest moron for saying that people are born gay. Because a talking snake is so legit compared to people being born gay, right? My life isn't ruled by the Bible. You're gonna have to do way better than that. Also, I challenge you to get 20 women in bikinis in front of Rob Halford and Elton John, and then tell me how they get lustful towards those girls or not. Because they're more likely not going to get boners like they do towards men. Why? They were born gay. Simple. And before anyone gives me a story about how someone went from being straight to gay to straight because that they found Jesus in their life, they're more than likely bisexual then. Going from a gay relationship to a straight relationship doesn't disprove the genetics of homosexuality. There's also pansexuality, which is a sexuality where you love anyone no matter what gender they are, while bisexual is liking both men and women, basically the same thing, but whatever. Except that pansexuals don't care what they are. Here's the difference. Bisexual person. Ooh, that's a hot girl. Or, ooh, that's a hot man. Pansexual. Ooh, that's a hot person. Hilariously, when someone on Facebook tried to debunk the born gay acknowledgement or argument by saying he knew a girl that went from being from a lesbian relationship to a straight relationship, he admitted he used gay as a synonym for bisexuality. So, yeah. So he painfully admitted that he was full of shit. So literally anyone that uses that argument, it pretty much only use it to justify their homophobia and bigotry and anti-gay idiocy. They always find a way to be an idiot, don't they? They can't take the fact that science has proven it multiple times that people are born gay. It should not take an Einstein to know that. It's the same thing with food taste. I didn't choose to dislike rice. My taste buds in my mouth just didn't accept the taste of it whatsoever. Also, can you do me a favor? Try to be gay right now and tell me how long that lasts. If you say it's a choice and that it's against God right now, just be gay for at least a week and tell me how lustful or horny you feel towards men. Tell me your natural feelings towards men. Tell me if it's a choice or not, idiot. And if you don't, congratulations, you're born straight. There's even people that said that if it was a choice, they would choose to be straight to avoid dying in a hate crime. It's even told in this video, link up here. And even if people aren't born that way, you're still shaming them for who they are, just because your fucking book says so. I don't and never will respect any anti-gay opinions. So if you are that way, please unsubscribe to me, please unfriend me, and do not talk to me ever again. I will never be friends with a bigot. I do not want your existence into my existence. I want no part of you. Same thing can be said if you shame autistic, Downs, cerebral palsy, Aspies, cripples, amputees, etc. I don't want your shitty, hateful opinions on them. Get over it. All of that aside, once again, even if people are not born gay, so what? People choose to be sickening assholes and they are allowed to get married, so why fight gay marriage anyway? It also seems to me that you idiots, excuse me, you right-wing Christians, which are lower than idiots, confuse the urge of homosexuality with the acts upon it. Now let me simplify it a little for you uneducated fuckfaces that say sexuality is a choice. Gay people naturally get boners over sexually attractive men to them. Straight people naturally get boners over sexually attractive women to them. Bisexuals get boners over sexually attractive women and men to them, unless if the bi is a woman, then she can't get a boner because obviously she doesn't have a penis. Pansexual get boners over sexually attractive people to them. Boner equals your penis getting hard like a bone when blood rushes to your penis whenever you're naturally attracted to something or someone. It's sad that I had to explain all this. Oh, by the way, homosexuality is found in 450 species, while homophobia is found in only one. So why say being gay is a choice or hate is nature anyway? In the meantime, stop invading gay people's space. Leave them alone, mind your own fucking business. Stewart is right. Religion is far more of a choice than homosexuality is. Since when did you decide not to be gay? And why is God angry about gay marriage but not as angry about any problems far worse than that, like gun violence from conservatives, racism pushing LGBT people to suicide, pedophilia, incest, etc.? Where in the actual fuck are your and God's priorities? Which leads to this question. Why are God's commandments so misguided? There's no priority in them whatsoever. He bans worshipping false idols and taking his name in vain, but not slavery or rape? Sounds legit. Huh, to you idiots. What do you think of Christians that support gay marriage? Are they sinful? Are they going to burn in hell? Would you let them take over your church? Would you listen to them and take them seriously of why homosexual people and homosexuality itself shouldn't be judged? Are they true Christians? Also, a lot of you dumb fucks use the Leviticus chapter to justify your anti-gay behavior. If your child was unruly, would you take him or her to the edge of town and stone them to death? Because that's what Leviticus says so.
Strongest desire, raising you superiors, acting on those waiting to walk, waiting to fall, the thumb down for the axe. The alien is bad.
Gay people shouldn't marry because they can't reproduce.
Okay, what do you say about the people that are too old to have kids? What about the stray people that have medical problems and can't have kids? Does that still count as a marriage to you? Why still make this ridiculous argument that marriage and love only counts if you are a sexual orientation that can reproduce? And what do you say about gay couples getting divorced? Which I almost never hear happen, by the way. Because the Bible says divorce is sinful too. You tell me, when gays divorce, is that depressing since it's a double sin? What about the straights that reproduced and abandoned their kids? Someone's going to have to adopt them. And it's not always going to be straights adopting. Let the gays adopt the kids that were abandoned by their straight parents after they reproduced them. It's really that simple.
But the kids will be influenced to homosexuality.
Oh, really? So you're saying that the bigot parents to gay children were gay as well? P.S. How come the worst stories of discrimination I ever hear from conservative Christians involve a couple of bakery owners who get paid to make a cake and didn't want to? Well, damn near every LGBT person I have ever met has a personal story of discrimination so much worse than that. Also, in the Bible, someone married a pile of salt. Is that a real marriage to you? And since you claim marriage is about reproducing, is pedophilia a marriage to you? Is incest a marriage to you? Marriage is not about love? Give me a fucking break.
God is real, it says so in the Bible.
If I tried to convince you that Darth Vader, TIE Fighters, TIE Interceptors, Death Stars, X-Wings, Y-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, Jedis, Luke Skywalker, etc. exist because I said so in Star Wars movie, you would think I'm insane. And that's exactly what I think think of you when you believe in a talking snake, the earth being flat, Jesus walking on water, humans being made from dirt and ribs, healing a paralyzed man, feeding the multitudes with limited food, coming back from the dead, etc. Also, try convincing me the same thing for Allah through the Noble Quran. What makes their book so wrong? Because their book is no different than the Bible. And since you said that he exists because the Bible says so, let me tell you a verse since it says so in there. Acts 5:30. Jesus was hung on a tree. Galatians 3:13. Anyone hung on a tree is cursed. Feel awkward yet? There's a tremendous amount of verses in the Bible that sound ridiculous. Also, what if I told you that Spider-Man exists because it says so in comic books? It's the same shit as saying God exists because it says so in the Bible. I mean, the opening lines of the Bible are absolutely ludicrous too. God creates light on day 1 but forgets to create the sun until day 4. The opening lines of the Bible are factually wrong. Why believe the rest of it? Just because it ever supposedly happened thousands of years ago, it doesn't make it any more legit. If you actually read the Bible for the first time as an adult, and you had never heard these stories before, ever in your life, your first reaction would be, "You've got to be kidding me. Who with an actual brain actually believes this bullshit?" Oh, fun fact, I first read the Bible as a whole when I was 18 years old, and that was exactly my reaction. By the way, if God spoke to you and told you to kill your child, would you do it? Who do you love more? Your child or some invisible sky daddy based off some fairy tale bullshit written by some backward roamers that didn't know where the sun went at night? Because if I had kids, I definitely love them far more than some religious bullshit. That's for sure. There is no evidence of God, but there is evidence of children, women, gay people, etc. exist.
Why don't you prove God isn't real?
Well, because why should I try disproving something that wasn't even proven in the first place? It's kind of like this stupid situation.
Hey man, I grew wings from my ass and flew to Mars without a helmet. I breathed air in space.
You can't prove that you did that bullshit.
You can't prove I didn't.
Don't you see? It's a fucking excuse to people make to back away from rational arguments.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Okay, let me give you some points and challenge you to see if you sound like a fucking idiot yet. It's also Lot and his daughters, not Lot and his sons. Adam and Eve never married. So why are those two relevant to this stupid argument? Wouldn't Adam and Eve be bad role models for Christians since they were the first sinners? Why use them as excuses to protest same-sex marriage? And it's also son and son, not daughter and daughter. Need I say more? Oh, wait. Oh, right. Also, that whole Adam and Eve bullshit is just a copy off from the Epic of Gilgamesh in 2100 BC. Running man in the wild naked? Check. Gaining knowledge from bad things happening? Check. God's creating a worldwide flood to drown out all living things because they are sinful? Check. The only survivor builds an ark? Check. The ark lands in some mountain in the Middle East? Check. So yeah, Even I can make my own religion. My soon-to-be 7-year-old cousin can make her own religion too. Myths of great floods, virgin births were around long before Jesus came onto the scene. And it's insane how I'm called the stupid one for acknowledging scientific facts from the same people that think these bullshit stories are true. Yeah, I know I'm aware I'm gonna repeat myself throughout this video, but Adam and Eve never existed anyway. And on the topic of you morons saying that the Old Testament doesn't matter anymore, isn't Adam and Eve in the Old Testament, though? Are you just using the Old Testament bullshit to justify your bigotry and then saying the Old Testament doesn't matter anymore to justify your illogical thinking just because there's some verses that don't fit in your agenda? Because that's really moronic, and it makes you uneducated dumb fucks look really insecure. God in the Bible said he's unchanging. His word is forever, as Isaiah said in 40:8. The same thing yesterday, today, tomorrow. If all the crazy shit in the Old Testament you dismiss was morally correct then it should, to you, always be morally correct if you are a Christian. Correct. It should always be morally correct now to you. Either you accept the Bible as a whole, or you dismiss the Bible entirely. There's no cherry picking.
No one is born gay, just like no one is born a pedophile.
Children can't consent to sex. Adults can. What two consented adults do in their private life shouldn't be in anybody else's business. Also, being sexually attracted to babies has nothing to do with sexual orientations, aka being sexually attracted to specific genders or sexes. Here's a chief difference between homosexuality and pedophilia. The two parties are consenting adults. A child is neither physically nor mentally sexually mature enough to make that decision. Two adults that degree are. The reason STDs are more common is because many gay people, not having to worry about children, fail to prioritize protection. Anybody that has unsafe sex can get AIDS, which was previously titled GRID due to societal perceptions and limited knowledge, but is said to have originated from monkeys. Gay sex does not produce AIDS. Taking away right to marriage doesn't get rid of homosexuality. That will still exist. It just inconveniences it emotionally and economically. Lastly, if you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. Simple as that.
Twins. One gay, one straight. Therefore, it's not a choice.
By that logic, it must be a choice to be a girl or a boy, since there are circumstances where twins are opposite sexes. Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker. But that can apply to real life too, not just movies. I'm dead serious on that one. And if you think it just applies to movie, then you're fucking stupid. And I have a friend who has a twin brother that's autistic. Meanwhile, he happens to be not autistic himself. So, are you telling me autism is a choice after all?
Oh, read the Bible. It will save you from the path of hell you're on.
If the Bible is a big part of what made me become an atheist in the first place, what makes you think I changed my mind for all these contradictions, sexism, racism, homophobia, and violent shit that I took notice of in the Bible? Oh, wait. Let me translate that of what you're trying to tell me.
For my stupid interpretations of the Bible, or else my all-loving, forgiving, tolerant, and kind God will make you burn in hell forever.
Yeah, because sending people to hell is totally unconditional love. How could God offer unconditional love and threaten people with eternal damnation? Those two things do not go together.
The noose gets tighter around my throat, but I ain't at the end of my rope, 'cause I won't be the one left behind. You can't be king of the world if you're slave to the bride. Tear down the rational slave. You can't be king of the world if you're slave to the bride.
Don't give me that you send yourselves to hell dogma. What? Alright, let's first say that I don't at all want to go to hell. Let's talk about a scenario. Let's first say I don't want to go to hell. Now the ball is back in God's court, and now God has the option of whether or not he can send me to hell. Now let me roll this clip for idiot believers like you.
Okay.
Did your God create hell? Yes or no?
She said yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does your God create the rules of the universe, including the criteria by which souls are judged?
Yes.
Does anything happen that doesn't go according to your God's will?
No.
Then your God is ultimately responsible for everything, including the people who he sends to hell.
That is so messed up. I mean,
Yeah, that logic stuff, it's a real pain in the ass, isn't it?
It is messed up, ma'am.
So what do you have to say now? Are you also going to tell me that the Jews during World War II send themselves to the Holocaust as opposed to Hitler? Are you that stupid about the whole God doesn't send you to hell nonsense? Here's my analogy. It's like I put a gun to my best friend Hairmetal Brony 1016's head and say, give me $1,000, and if you don't go by what I say, I'll pull the trigger and kill you. That's what that arrangement is. If I pull the trigger, Hairmetal Brony, aka Lane, did not commit suicide. By the way, with all the different religions and different types of Christianity, might I add, why can't God just settle it all once and for all instead of speaking through ambiguous messages that leaves out opportunities to so many different interpretations? The Bible's so much of a mess and it makes me confused and really wonder who I should root for in the story. God does not need a copy machine. He needs an editor. Continuing on to the next part, since the next bullshit claim against atheists or gay people or whatever is really big, so I'm just gonna keep making this into parts. So, to be continued.